My name's Brett Matich, CEO of Max Resource. Our primary project is in Colombia. It's called the Caesar Copper Silver Project. I'll just go through the capital structure first. So we've got around 18 million in the bank now. We did a major raising at 60 cents back in, I think it was May of this year. 25% of our holders are institutions. Probably the primary ones are Franklin Templeton 5%, Merck Investments 5%. We've also got MXROF 5%, and Endeavour Silver 5%. So we're pretty well cashed up. We've come back a little bit with the market on copper, and also in relation to the change of government in Colombia. So just to go on the change of government in Colombia, so there's been a change of government, a left-wing government. They're pushing hard on transferring from fossil fuels to clean energy like copper. This is just a statement from the Minister for Mines, which they've been very open about looking at the potential of copper. We're actually in an area where there's significant production. It's the largest coal production area, the largest open pit coal mining open pit in South America. So how we're affected by the change of government is we're in an area where there's no cooperatives, there's no gold mining or illegal mining, there's no national forests, so there's no sensitive areas. This is not the case with a lot of places in Colombia. We've also got the bonus of being a prolific coal mining, especially coal mining region. The communities depend on the royalties from coal mining and from oil and gas, and really they're looking at an alternative, and that's where we come in from copper. We're very well known with the government and the mines department. We've had a lot of support. And we didn't really talk much about the political side. We just wanted to show this business as usual. So we started drilling in September of this year. So that's after the change of government. We've got a number of drill targets. So that's just demonstrating that the change of government isn't really affecting us. In fact, it's helping us in the area that we're in. So you'll see from this slide, in relation to the location, it doesn't get any better. I mean, it's all, the infrastructure is set up for bulk tonnage of coal. So you've got numerous railway lines, shipping ports, roads. You're in a topography it's like a basin, so you haven't got the typical topography of South America with jungles. Even with the climate, you've got the Caribbean there. So we've got bonuses of infrastructure, access in relation to the region, and also being in a position where we can explore all around. So we started drilling in September. We've got a budget. Our budget of drilling will continue on to the end of 2023. And because of, like I said, not being seasonal, we're in a rare position where we're not only cashed up, but our exploration or drilling programs can last all the way through 2023. This map here, it's just showing a bit of what the strategy of the company is. So when we came in here, there was opportunity, even though it was, there was a lot of copper around, no one's really looked at it from a regional perspective. And that was really mainly because of the dangers of being around that area. And there was an agreement with one of the military groups, which is called the FARC, that was in 2016. So that basically opened up this area, and we basically got here first. So if we look at this here, the two largest sedimentary production areas in the world, we've got what we call in Poland, which is the largest silver producer as a byproduct, and the largest copper producer in Europe. And then we've got the African belt, which is the largest producing copper belt, sedimentary copper belt, and probably the most well-known is Ivanhoe Mines' Camol deposit. Both of those are around 200 kilometres in length. These type of systems are It's sort of like Goldilocks. If it's too small, it can't churn up the minerals. If it's too large, then it all gets diluted too much. So if we look at our system, it's around the same, and it's around 200 kilometres. So we're in that zone, sub-basin zone. So our strategy is we've got 3 main prospects, but our strategy is to demonstrate the prospectivity of being here. For example, you've got 40 different mines and deposits. So that's what we're demonstrating, is the prospectivity of potentially there being 10 or 20 deposits. So if we go again, so we've got 3 prospects. The first one, and this is over a distance of 90 kilometres. The first one we call the AM district. It's very similar to what we call Kufa Schiffer. They're basically sub-horizontal sheets that go for, it goes for 32 kilometres in length. But the problem with these sheets, they're around 2 metres thick, is there's a huge amount of drilling. So you're drilling off huge sheets. So the second prospect is more volume, and this is where we're drilling what we call Uru. So this is where we're drilling now. This distance here is 20 kilometres. So to give you a bit of an idea of the enormity, it's 20 kilometres long. We've only been channel sampling rocks, exposures of outcrops. We haven't done any soils. So essentially, we're really skipping a drilling program where normally your first program, you're trying to identify the mineralisation. So this area here, 1 kilometre by 1 kilometre, that's where we're drilling first, and we've got a video on that. 1 kilometre by 1 kilometre might not sound a lot when you're talking about 20 kilometres of strike, but if you're looking at 1 by 1, you can have a substantial amount of deposits. This is Conejo. This is actually the second prospect, which we call Conejo. We're not drilling there at the moment. There's 2 areas of outcrop. We're doing geophysics in between to identify it. This is what we call the footwall. That area there, it's 40 kilometres thick. It's averaging plus 1%. So that's the second area which we'll drill, second to what we call Conejo. This is outcropping area. This is 1.6 kilometres away. You've got very high grades going over hundreds and hundreds of metres. And this has never ever been drilled. So this will be something that we'll drill in Q2 of next year. Okay, so this is what we talked about Uru. So very high grades. You've got 9 metres at 7%. This area here, we started drilling this area. We're waiting for results to come through. Where we're targeting here, it's structurally controlled mineralisation. First time it's been drilled. So there's the first lot of drilling is really getting the interpretation. So we'll have an announcement in the next week or 2, which will talk more about what we're seeing from this structurally old system. We're going up now, so we're going up 200 metres in vertical and 300 metres along strike. And this is where the mineralisation is picked up again. We're actually starting to drill this area at the moment, and you'll see there's 52 metres going 5%. That's actually on a ridge, because we couldn't actually get to the side of the exposure. At this stage, we really don't know which way it's dipping. So that's going to be part of the drilling that we're doing. This is 750 metres to the east. This is where we're going to be drilling next, which will be in Q1. And this was an area from, we're simply doing lines for geophysics, and we come across this exposure. So no one's actually been here looking for copper, and that's all we're finding. We're walking around and we're prospecting and finding this mineralisation. So this is where we're drilling. You'll see this is a huge structure. You'll see the the geologist there. That structure there, it's plus 20 metres wide, going, I think it's about 1.5% copper. So that's the second area we're drilling. So if you sort of compare these systems, why the sedimentary systems are so sought out now, if you compare this with a porphyry, if you're getting around 0.5%, that's pretty healthy grade. Where with these sedimentary systems, you're more targeting the 1%. The processing of it is far simpler. And also in relation to these systems, you'll find a lot more exposure at surface rather than having to drill these 600 metre and 800 metre holes. So this is where we're drilling. So we're using magnetics. So this is where we are drilling. So this area here, 750 metres away, which I just showed you the outcrop. We continue these magnetics to the north. The ground mag's working very well. You can see the correlation. So apart from drilling, we're actually looking for new drill targets, knowing that we're going to be drilling for the rest of the year. This is what the first video that you saw. Conejo, that's showing the high-grade outcrops in this area here, which is Conejo. This is again where we're drilling, and that was on the video. This again was on the video. This is 1.6 kilometres to the east of that particular outcrop, and you're going 40 metres wide plus 1%. Again, you sort of compare that with porphyry systems, and that'll be the second area that we'll be drilling, which will be around Q1. And this is the third area. So we've gone Yuru where we're drilling. We just talked about Conejo, the AM district, which is 90 kilometres, a part of this 90 kilometre belt. This is showing you how these sheets are. This area here is what you call the Cerrone coal mine. So that's the largest open pit coal mines in South America. Again, we're in areas where you can actually do open pit mining. But you see this 32 kilometres long. These are sheets, and if we had to drill that, you're talking, say, with Ivanhoe Mines with Kamoa. I mean, they drilled 100,000 metres before they had the discovery. So rather than waste all our drilling in this area, we're going for Conejo and Yuru because volumes can be put together a lot more quickly. So that's really about it. We've only been here since 2020. Over that time, we had to work out in relation to setting up in Colombia. It's not really easy for a junior to actually set up. We went through applications. In 2020, we did a funding at 6.5 million at 24 cents. Got some concessions approved. 2021, again, we got more concessions approved. And then 2022, we did our funding at 60 cents. We've got major shareholders and institutions, and we're just starting the drilling stage, and we see drilling carrying all the way through to 2023. Thank you.